expensive side of my face, I'm going to be using the YSL Blur and Perfect Primer. This is my most expensive primer. It is around £34. It's super expensive, but it's very luxurious, and I definitely see why people pay the money. It's kind of blurring as well. I really like it. But then on the drugstore side, I'm going to be using the 17 Glow Freeway Highlighter Primer. And this is definitely a lot more glowy. This is perfect for those of you that have dry skin. Mine is a little bit more oily, but these were the best two that I could compare. So as you can see, this side of my face looks so dewy, a little bit too dewy. As my face, I'm using the Natural Collection Shine Away foundation. This is a super cheap drugstore foundation. It's about £1. So I'm really not a fan of that side of my face. If I get really up close, you can see there's a lot of redness still there. It looks really bad in person. It does not look as bad on camera. The shade's too pale for me. That obviously just sometimes happens. So now I'm moving on to this side of my face, and I'm using the MAC Studio Fix foundation, and then the NARS. What is this foundation called? It's this one. I'll obviously do cutouts and everything as well. But yeah, it's just because the MAC one was a little bit too dark for me right now. So I just thought I'd balance it out with the NARS one. So overall, I way prefer this side of my face to that side already. It does not look anywhere near as bad on camera as it does in person. But trust me, it looks shocking in person. So let's just move on to... Of course, we're going to have to contour, and for my left side of my face, the right on your side, is this Amazon one. I bring this out every time I do a bad makeup tutorial. So I'm going to just be using a mixture of the two shades and blending it out. And then on this side of my face, I'm going in for my Models Co. This is my favourite ever, and it actually does happen to be my most expensive. It's £20, so it is a little bit pricey. And I'm just going to blend that all in with my Real Techniques brush. So my camera just cut off while I was recording, but you actually can't see much difference in the contours. They don't look completely opposite. The colours are quite similar. They're both very warm and more of like a bronzy shade rather than a contour, but I'm really happy with how they turned out. I think they look really nice. I'm really like them. So now I'm going to move on to concealing, and for my high-end side, I've got the Fake It Up by Benefit, and I'm just going to get a little bit of that and just put it under my eye, and then I'm going to blend it in using this. Now this is my most expensive concealer, but it's actually not. Then on this side of my face, I'm going ahead with the Asda Iron Concealer. I'm not too big of a fan of this one either. Okay, so as you can see, I've still got a lot of redness there. It's done quite a good job at brightening. This side actually looks a lot brighter than this side, which is weird, seeing as that one's like 20 quid more. But anyway, let's move on to... So for highlighting the high-end side of my face, I've got my Cover FX drops, and then I have the Revolution drops for the other side of my face. So I'm just going to pop that on. They look super similar already in the bottle. So for this side, I actually think I prefer the Revolution highlight. It looks a lot more wet and like it's just kind of sunken into the skin, whereas the Cover FX one is a little bit more obvious. I've actually just realised that I have a cream blush to apply as well. Even though I've already done that concealer and that, I am going to still apply it. So on the high end side, I have the Bang Beauty blush, which is one of my favourite blushes, colours, cream blushes ever. Then on my more affordable, cheaper side, I have the BH Cosmetics. This one's so pigmented, I actually forgot how pigmented it was. So to mattify me down, I have my PS Mattifying Primer. This one is from Primark. It is £1, and for £1, it is pretty darn good. And I have the Banana Setting Powder. I actually really prefer this one a lot just because I prefer banana powders in general, but my favourite banana powder actually is the Revolution one. It's like £6 and it is the best banana powder on the market. After that, I'm going to move on to eyebrows, and I have two extremely similar products. I have this one, which is, I actually can't remember where it's from, but I will put it on the screen now. And I've got the L'Oreal one. I actually don't spend a lot of money on brow products, which is probably why I don't have a very expensive one. But yeah, I'm just going to do my eyebrows off camera just because I do them all the time, and then I'll come back. Now and I'm going to bronze up my face, and on the cheap side of my face, I'm going to be using the 17 bronzer, and this was £1. So bloody good. It's such a good bronzer. And then on the other side of my face, I'm going to be using the ML Safari bronzer. This is my favourite bronzer. When I first got this, I really didn't like it. And then I started using it every single day. And I was like, oh my god, I'm obsessed with it. It just brings so much warmth to your face. But to be honest, you can't tell too much of a difference between that bronzer. Inside my face for blush, I'm going to be using the NYX bronzer. The NYX blush in Coral, Night and Peach. I actually don't spend a lot of money on stuff like blush because I feel like you don't have to. But on the cheap side of my face, I'm going to be using the MUA bronzer blush, which I really don't like actually. This is the first time I've said this, but I just really don't like that. I would spend that little bit of extra money just to get something that's a little bit better, because it's not even worth £1. It's so bad. For this, I'm going to be using the Sleek highlighter on the cheap side of my face, and on the expensive side of my face, I'm going to be using the Anastasia one. This Sleek highlighter is actually one of my favourite highlighters. I feel like if you want a blinding highlight, you have to spend at least a little bit of money. Like, just look at that. It's just, that's way too much today. But it's just, either way, both of these are good. So you can really get anyone you wanted to. So for eyes, I'm going to be doing a super simple look, but the eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to be using is the Estee Lauder eyeshadow palette, and then the Technique eyeshadow palette. And I'm just going to do something super simple. So for the high end side, I'm just going to throw this brown shade into my cream. And the same on the other side with this dark brown. Whoa, that's so pigmented. So right off the bat, that's a lot warmer shade, but they don't look too different. I'm just going to take one of these shimmery shades, this one here, and dip in with that one, and pop that along my lids. Okay, that is so pigmented. And then I'm just going to take this kind of icy one here and mix it with a little bit of this one and pop that over. This one is way more pigmented than this one, especially for shimmers. Not for mattes. The mattes on the Estee Lauder one are so good, but the shimmers in this are something else. They are so beautiful. It's actually completely forgot. My most expensive blush is the Zoeva palette, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of that on. For eyeliners, I have the one from Primark for this side. It's quite nice. And then I have the L'Oreal one. Oh no, sorry, the Estee Lauder one for this side. Okay, we all know which one is more pigmented. But then I'm just going to go ahead with the mascara. And for this one, I have the Soap & Glory. And for this one, I have the Poundland. I do really like these, so I can very well now. For eyeliners, on my cheaper side, I'm going to go in with the Essence liner in the nude. And then for my cheaper side, for my more expensive side, I'm going to go in with the and you can't really tell much difference. So for the cheaper side, I'm going to go in with the Primark lip crayon. It is incredibly pigmented, I will give it that. And then on this side, I'm going with the Clinique Chubby Stick. Okay, the shades don't actually match, which is really annoying, but we're just going to go with it. And then I'm going to go over with a lip gloss. And for this side, I have the Barry M1, which actually cost me £1. And for this side, I have the Dior one, which cost me a lot more. And now I am going to finish up by setting my face. So on this side, I'm going to set my face with the W7. Really smells so bad. And then on this side, I'm going to set my face with Fix Plus. So that is the finished look. I think this proves that you don't have to spend fortunes on good makeup. Those things that I love on this side and things that I don't like on this side. It doesn't matter what something costs. The lips look nice on both sides. The Primark lip crayon is just as nice as the Clinique one. The mascara doesn't look any different. The blush doesn't look too different. The contour palette wasn't too bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't awful. So products like that, you really don't have to spend fortune on. You can really just, it doesn't really matter what you buy. The eyebrows, you can't even tell a difference between my eyebrows. And at the end of the day, they're sisters, not twins. And they don't look very different. However, I would not go out with this on my face. This foundation on this side looks awful. The concealer on this side actually looks better than this one. I really don't like that Benefit concealer. But overall, I would not go out looking like this. For one thing, my lips are two different colours. So, yeah. So, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below and subscribe. And I will see you next time.